Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the partially mask-wearing militant state of Michigan. So I was looking over the Gateway Pundit website, a couple other websites today after I saw this, where Igor Danchenko was acquitted on all charges. He was brought up on 4. The judge had dropped 1, so he was acquitted of the rest of his charges concerning lying to the FBI. Not going to get him. And there was a vlog post, or a Twitter post in here that I've got a copy of. It's something like, well, it's really hard to convict someone of lying to the FBI when the FBI really isn't that interested in convicting you. Now, on the surface, that sounds really good. I mean, it sounds like, yeah, you know, just not going to get them if they're not going to help. You look at, what was it, Kleinsmith and Sussman were both brought up by Durham, is it John Durham, Bull Durham, on lying to the FBI. I think one pleaded guilty, maybe, or was found guilty, spent about 2 days in jail, and then had his law license returned to him. I mean, basically, there was no penalty at all. So, apparently, if you're going to get convicted for lying to the FBI has to be 100% behind those charges. And it would seem like that. I mean, take a look at Michael Flynn. I mean, Michael Flynn was brought up on charges of lying to the FBI. Now, you think if there was anybody that the FBI wanted to take to trial and find guilty and throw in jail, was Michael Flynn. So this kind of further validates if they're not interested, you're not going to get a conviction. But lo and behold, here's what happens later on. They drop all the charges. Why? Because it's just too hard to convict somebody of it. It's too hard to convict somebody of lying to the FBI. Even when they want your ass, it's hard to convict somebody of lying to the FBI. So, I wouldn't use this Danchenko acquittal as some sort of proof positive that there's a 2- or 3-tier legal system out there. I wouldn't use this case as the one that you go, see, I told you, justice for thee and not for me, or however you want to say it. I wouldn't do that. But what I think what this case was about, I don't think Durham's intent is to get convictions. I mean, to me, that's more of an afterthought. I think the reasoning behind it is to charge these people, and they know that they'll probably be acquitted if they plead not guilty and go to trial. But then when they go to trial, well, then they have to answer questions under oath, and they have to be truthful. And that's where these connections to these legal firms are made. The one slips the Perkins Coie legal firm, where the connections are made to Clinton, where the Christopher Steele dossier, where stuff comes out about it wasn't confirmed, further, more evidence that this was, was a bit of a hoax. So I think the purpose of taking these guys to trial is the collateral damage that it does. I'd be curious to find out if people were kind of encouraging Danchenko to take a guilty plea. Yeah, you know, maybe you get a couple weeks in jail. You know, no big deal. You're back out. You're back out doing your thing in a month or two. Not a big deal. Just plead guilty, and that sort of saves all the other players involved getting their name on the court record. So I think it's more about that. So don't look at the acquittal or not finding, you know, the acquittal as some sort of the be-all, end-all. I don't think it is. I just think it's a way to further expose what was going on. But that's just my take. But I just don't see any other reason to take someone to court about lying to the FBI when you've got a vigorous pursuit of a charge or a guilty verdict from Michael Flynn went up in smoke. You've taken 2 other people to court and they were found not guilty. And even the George Papadopoulos, who was, what, I don't know, given like a week in jail or some crazy sentence, he wasn't found guilty of lying to the FBI. He pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. So there's probably a lot of finance involved in defending yourself against these charges. But there doesn't seem to be a hefty penalty for getting a guilty verdict or even taking the guilty plea. So I'm thinking that they almost want him to plead not guilty and to take it to court to cause the collateral damage. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.